Hey, welcome. Today we're diving into some of the body's most amazing secrets. We're going to explore the world of peptides, these tiny, powerful molecules that our source material says basically act as the body's own dedicated repair crew. Let's get right into it.
So I want you to imagine for a second that your body is this massive, incredibly complex construction site. Stuff is always happening. But how do the workers know where to go? Or what to fix? What are those secret instructions that kickstart the healing process and get new tissue built? Well, the answer often comes down to these tiny little messengers we're about to meet.
And here they are, peptides. So what are they, really? In the simplest terms, they're just short little chains of amino acids. And you probably know amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. But here's the cool part. Their real power isn't in what they build, it's in the messages they carry. They're kind of like text messages for your body, delivering very specific instructions straight to your cells.
Okay, so we've got the basic idea down, but let's get a little more specific. Our source material really shines a spotlight on three key examples that are super important to the whole healing process.
The three peptides we're talking about are BPC-157, thymosin beta-4, and GHKCU. Yeah, I know, they totally sound like names for droids in a sci-fi movie, right? But don't worry about the names. What they do is actually pretty straightforward and, honestly, incredibly important for our biology.
So, okay, we have their names. But what's their actual mission? What are they supposed to be doing inside our bodies? Well, according to our source, it all really boils down to two critical jobs that they do together.
Their first big job is to act as a kind of biological peacemaker. They manage the body's initial and often chaotic response to an injury.
And that job, number one, is to reduce inflammation. I mean, think about it. Before you can do any real healing or rebuilding, you have to get the emergency situation under control. That's all inflammation is, really, an emergency alarm going off. These peptides are like the first responders who show up to bring some order to that chaos.
And our source for this, trichologist William Gonitz, he puts it about as simply as you can. He just says, in short, they reduce inflammation. And that really underscores just how fundamental this first step is to the whole process.
All right, so the fire's out, the situation is under control. What's next? Well, now you got to bring in the supplies to actually repair the damage, right? And that brings us to their second major function.
Their second job is to ramp up the blood supply to that area. Blood is the body's ultimate delivery service. It's carrying the oxygen, the nutrients, all the good stuff needed for repair. By cranking up the blood flow, these peptides make sure that the construction crew has all the materials it needs right where it needs them.
And there's a really cool scientific term for this process of creating new blood vessels. It's called angiogenesis. So whenever you hear that word, just picture the body literally building new highways and access roads to speed up deliveries and get the recovery job done faster.
So this is the crucial takeaway. It's a powerful two-step action plan. Step 1, calm things down, reduce the inflammation. Step 2, bring in the cavalry, increase the blood supply. And it's not just two random actions, it's a brilliant strategy. You can't rebuild in the middle of a war zone. First you call a truce, then you bring in the construction crews. It's this exact 1-2 punch that makes the whole healing process so effective.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. But what about the how? How do you actually get these powerful little signaling molecules delivered to the body so they can do their work?
Our source mentions two main methods. First up is systemically. Think of this like sending out a company-wide memo. It goes to every department, affecting the entire body system. The second way is topically, which is when you apply it directly to one specific spot on the skin. This is much more targeted, kind of like leaving a sticky note on a single computer monitor. It's a direct instruction for just one area. So let's do a super quick recap. We met our three key peptides, BBC-157, thymosin beta-4, and GHKCU. We learned they have that powerful 1-2 punch for healing. First, knock down inflammation, and second, boost the blood supply through angiogenesis. And finally, we saw that they can be used for a whole-body effect, systemically, or for a super-targeted effect, topically.
And all of this leads to a pretty mind-blowing final thought. This science is giving us a way to communicate with our own cells in their native language, to send specific instructions for repair. So the big question we're left with is this. If we can actually direct the body's own repair systems on command, what's the next frontier in our personal health? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.